Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I would like to talk about how I transformed my old character into something more new and more interesting and personally a little bit more in detail. So, what I have here right now in front of me is actually my old design. Her name is Dee, and her character was like, I had an idea where she is this cool character. Yeah, that's it. More in detail, she's actually like one of the girl in the friend group, and they go by D, B, and G. Yes, one letter each, but actually a name. G is actually Gina, but she's like she joins in later in my head. I don't know. I was thinking about something, but my point is she exists, and I thought, well, I need to revamp this character, and I also had another opportunity why I should revamp this character is because in a Discord server that I won't mention the name because it's a private server, we are gonna have a secret Santa, and I thought, oh well, I want to share D, but she's kind of a little bit too boring right now. Well, I don't know, maybe good writers could make her interesting. I'm not a good writer just yet, but I thought, well, let's make the character more interesting. So, right here, we have like this sort of a post-apocalyptic scene that I had in my head to for this character to transform to. So I jot down some things that about her that makes her unique and makes her boring. So I had it was like, okay, so is she too normal? Well, she's wearing a casual outfit, she looks normal, she doesn't look anything spectacular. Except for the fact that she has green hair. Well, dyed green hair. And so I was like, okay, well, what kind of character progression would I want to see in this character in the future? Or in this vision I have for this new design for her? I thought to myself, well, what if this character goes through this character progression where she was independent at first, but then she needs to learn how to be reliable. So she has that sense of stoicness, but she doesn't trust anyone else, but actually just trusts herself, and indeed puts her and herself in a bad place. So I guess she thinks she's smart but arrogant and fails kind of character. And I was thinking, well, what if I want to make this a little bit more actionful and more interesting story? I thought to myself, okay, the setting of this upcoming comic idea I have that I don't know if I'll ever polish it. It's a mage versus technology. It's been done before, yes, I know, but you know what? As an artist, you just gotta start somewhere. So this is where I'm starting. The first step, right, I do is to figure out the shape balance. And why is this important? Well, because in a character, shapes mean a lot of things. And especially with this one, I wanted to be able to start with that strong foundation. I'll talk more about this later if you are interested, but in another video. But the shape balance is important because square is something that you can rely on. Circle is something you're soft and like very bubbly, and triangle is something dangerous and something that is very sharp. Initially, I thought, okay, I want circle and square because I didn't think far enough about my thought earlier I just mentioned. Eventually, I change it though. But initially, I just do a rough one. It doesn't look anything good. I just wanted to make sure, okay, well, she will get a cape because that has a nice square shape in it. And then she will get a legging or something to make sure she is thin on the bottom side. So it looks like a triangle or an upside down triangle. And I was like, okay, well, what about in an action pose? Should she get a longer cape or should she get a shorter cape or a scarf? Sorry. And I was like, the longer one is kind of weird. And then I realized, okay, wait, maybe with the boots I have down here, my god, this QuickTime Player. With the boots down here, I thought, okay, I think it's more of a triangle thing rather than a circle thing. So I changed my shape balance right here to triangle, and then I created another design where, okay, we're gonna incorporate square and triangles. As you can see, square and triangles. I thought it would be cool, but then she ended up looking like a scholar instead of like a army. I also had in mind that she was like a army character. But never mind that, I was like, okay, different scarf design, let's go. So I did something like this, as you can see on the screen, where there's a scarf here, but one arm is shown. The reason why I decided to show one arm is because she has this magic power in my head that she can't really wear anything layer on top of it because the magic burns it. So I thought that was like an interesting choice that I've made myself. It's kind of weird saying interesting myself alone, but it's my video, whatever. Anyways, we're gonna continue. And I like that design, so I started to build upon something else with more of a different pose or a different shape. And I didn't really like this one where I decided to add skirt to this person because I was like, oh, what if she has a skirt instead of a legging? And well, it looked like she was a knight, like one of those Dark Souls starter armor stuff. Didn't look good. So I decided to go back with the legging, and I decided to continue further sketching it with an addition of a weapon, a knife. So I was thinking, okay, it's a war where there's a mage versus a tank and like technology and stuff. I was like thinking to myself, should I add a gun or should I not add a gun? I decided that, well, she's a mage, maybe she could just shoot projectiles and perhaps, don't really need a gun. So she's just a knife person. And something that you see here on her shoulder thing, I sort of remembered back when I was still drafting this idea that she has this magical like essence thing. It looked magical and it looked like mage thing, so I added it. By the way, this is nothing detailed in terms of the character itself. It's just me talking over the process of how I designed the character. So, if the story you think it's kind of crappy, then yeah, you're right. There's not really developed. But you gotta start somewhere. So, I kept continuing with the design, and finally I got my design with the legging and the sort of the pose that I wanted to go with. Yep. And we got the boots and we got those belt buckles where, a lot of army people used to put there with, grenades or sometimes knife there, but in her case, she has a knife on the back. So I like that design, and I thought, okay, well, let's give it a outline so I can color it in. And so I did the coloring. The color behind that I chose was heavily inspired by like the military colors. Even though she is a mage, she was a mage in disguise as a soldier. And I guess it's a little bit confusing here, but this was an important decision I made because, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe she tries to fight, she tries to hide her powers, and when she uses it, she can use it for her advantage. So it's more of like a modern magic thing, as I don't know if modern magic, as if there's old magic, but it's in a modern setting, and you have a lot more magic power to it. Anyways, I thought that, okay, whenever she uses her magic power, her thing glows green, and her hair also glows. I thought that was a interesting choice I made. So here is the final design, and the overall color, and how it looks like overall. Then I went through and refined the character, where as you can see, I got all the important stuff here on the left with the reference photos. Remember, reference photos are important. Started the gesture drawing first. I'm not the best with figure drawings. I'm more of a landscape artist, but characters are interesting and cool, and I want my own. So I gave it a shot, my best shot with my figures. It took a while, but once I got the hang of it, I started designing and refining, making sure I got all the small details in there. And with the reference photo, I got to be able to get the shapes right. And here's the rear view, which I don't think I've done too much adding to it, except for the fact that she has a small back in the back. And yeah. So here's the refining process, where it just refining. It's just takes time consuming, where I decided to make sure you get the details right, her face right. And because this was a revamp, as in it was a design from the back, like from the past, I decided to keep her original face in it. I mean, she already had some sense of stoic face to begin with. It wasn't too hard incorporating into the outfit design and stuff. So here it is. And refining process. It's it's a tedious process. People might generally would add more detail into the undersketch. I didn't because I was in a rush, because the Secret Santa thing I had to upload it like soon when I was making this, so I was also in a little bit of a rush. But that doesn't mean I slacked off. So, well, I guess it does, but I tried my best. And as you can see, the refining process, I made sure to add small details, decided what choice it is, yada yada yada. Made sure I got the materials right. The outside you can't really see much, but the inside you can see it's a striped. Well, it's striped, but it's one of those cotton stripes, like one of those you see in sweater. And the leggings, it looked like a normal pants just yet, but that was added afterwards when I started coloring. So here are all the stuff and the refining process, and once I got that line ready, I lined the back and then I started coloring. So in this coloring process, I like to use the lasso tool. As you can see, it just looks like the colors are pasted in, because it is. And this just makes the process simply easier for me. And once the color is set, it's just all about the rendering, yada yada da, rendering, rendering, rendering. And then I did the back, which is a little bit sloppier because, I guess you don't really need to see the back. I also forgot to add a small detail in the background with her left hand is actually like a big long glove thing. Oh, here. I tried to add this magic power. I don't think I kept it afterwards. Yeah, this was my initial sort of like background, and I decided, it doesn't look too good, so let me just refine it a bit. And I think eventually I realized that her neck was too long. Yeah, her neck was too long, so I decided that, okay, well, maybe I should make it smaller or shorter, and added the scarf thingy. And it's just a bunch of small detailing, and voila! Here it is. Well, it's still going, I didn't realize. And there you go. So, to sum it all up, I just wanted to mention how I progressed from the, old design to a new design, and to sort of show what I went through on how it looked, or what I went through with my head, and what it ended up being. It's nothing special, especially because the fact that this is still just a character. There's no story in it, except I had some level of setting and story back in my mind, where it's a techno mage war setting, which I think it's cool, and I think I'm slightly or heavily inspired by Metal Gear Solid, but it's a great inspiration, so I thought it looks cool. So there's not so much in the technicality, simply because this is just me sharing my process. But if you would like to see how I actually, how I would theoretically or ideally do it, then please let me know. I'm more than happy to make a more detailed character designing, character, revamping process. So yeah, if you enjoy watching this video, please let me know. Leave a like if you would like. If not, that's fine. That's life. And hopefully I'll see you in another video. Thanks, guys.